Hey everybody, thanks for watching again. We've got our final episode with Cecilia Johnson and myself. Something that a lot of conservatives who spend time on the internet have seen happening for 3, 4 years now has really started boiling over the last couple of months. This is just this morning, actually. Twitter suspends James O'Keefe for reporting on Democrat Bernie Sanders. Now, if you don't know what's going on, a quick little backstory. James O'Keefe has been, for the last however many months, planting operatives inside of Bernie Sanders' campaign offices across the country, many of them. Over the last 2 months, he's released, I think, 6 videos now. And these are all people that are releasing undercover videos of campaign staffers or campaign leaders in different states talking about how it's time to burn down Milwaukee if Bernie Sanders doesn't get the nomination, or guillotine the rich, or gulags weren't as bad as what they tell you. Chaos, just like unbelievably, and we talked about this in the last episode. These are all people our age and younger, and they have no idea how gulags aren't as bad as they people didn't go on vacation to a concentration camp in Siberia in Russia, right? One of the undercover videos was talking about re-education camps would be a good thing. So anyway, Twitter just today suspended James O'Keefe's account. Cecilia, you've met James O'Keefe many years ago. So what do you think? What's your take on James O'Keefe, what he does, the censorship of conservatives online lately?
So as far as James O'Keefe, I did meet him at a conference, I believe a Women in Politics conference, about 8 years ago, and this is when right after he did everything with Acorn.
Oh yeah, that was a
And
good one.
brought down Acorn, and he was working on, I believe, the Planned Parenthood thing at the time,
Okay.
where they were calling Planned Parenthood, and the guy pretended to be a racist and wanted to donate money to just have black babies aborted. And they were like, "Oh, that's fine. We can do that." They were like, so they were down. Like if you listen to it, it was terrible. So I obviously am a fan of his work. A great fan of his work. I think he has done just tremendous things in bringing transparency to a lot of issues, a lot of organizations, and a lot of campaigns as well. So somebody like him is much needed, just in general, because he's not, really vocal about where he lands on the political spectrum a
It's a
lot.
good point.
It just feels like he's just someone out there that is just fighting a good fight, because these people are taking advantage of people, or people are doing things underhanded and doing things that are illegal. So someone like him is greatly needed. We need more people like him. As far as the censorship of conservatives, it was first really brought to my attention when it was Candace Owens, I believe, who was censored on. I believe they deleted her on Facebook
Okay.
and YouTube, I believe.
Okay, I missed that
Where
one.
they just completely shut her down. But along with shutting her down, they also shut down Louis Farrakhan.
Okay.
So they're really just now, these social media platforms really now just, you say anything or you do anything that's against what we do or what we believe, then we're just going to shut you down. Because they know they have the power to do so, because I mean at the end of the day they do own it, and it is their business.
Yeah.
But they understand what shutting down certain people could mean to them, could mean to their fans and their base and their brand.
Yeah.
So I think it's just unfortunate that they do mostly go after conservatives. And when the left makes all of these terrible claims, they may say the craziest things on social media, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and they continue to get away with it.
There are far more calls for violence coming from the left than on the right.
Absolutely. And there's been far more incidents on the right, I mean on the left, than it is from the right.
Yeah, like
So
Antifa and so on.
yeah, I mean, the one guy that supposedly got beat up by someone on the right, he paid black people to beat him up. So
Yeah.
Mr. Smollett, or
Oh,
Juicy Smoulier,
gosh, Smoulier.
Juicy Smoulier.
Yeah. Oh my
So he was
gosh.
like, crime is so low from the left to the right. It's from the right to the left,
Yeah.
that they have to make it up and manufacture
Right.
it. So why aren't the people who are calling for people to, if they see a Republican, congressman going up and getting in their faces, like nobody's calling those people out for saying those things. Yet, if you just have an opinion on something that's different from the people who run and operate these social media accounts or businesses, then they just shut you down.
It's that simple. All you have to do is have a different opinion. And it's so strange because the people on the left are so tolerant and so open-minded, unless I don't agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's this funny quote that about intolerance will not be tolerated. And
that's the left.
Yeah, that's the left.
It is crazy. Like they're always been, talking about, the black voice and things like that. But as a black Republican or a black conservative, I'm constantly being shut down and having people not want to highlight me or give me a voice because I am black and female and in the inner city and young and all of these other things, but Republican.
Okay, so when you say I'm Republican, I'm conservative, maybe you say I like Trump, whatever. What do they say? Do they say, what, are you dumb? Or like do you not know who, like, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what do they want to know? Like, do they think you aren't up to date? Or I guess I'm just trying to figure out what is going on in their head that they try to shut you down.
Honestly, it's I get different responses. It just basically depends. Some people are really interested and intrigued because, oh my gosh, here's the unicorn, it's the black Republican female. So it's like, oh my gosh, let me ask you all these questions and see kind of what it is that you believe and where your perspective on these things. And a lot of people are very, very intolerant of it. It's a lot of, I get a lot of aggression.
Okay.
I get a lot of aggression. I get a lot of, just down talk and things like that, and just straight out disrespect just for being someone who doesn't, who's kind of going against the grain, not on purpose, but this is just really what I believe. I've taken a really solid look at both sides, and this is just where I feel, my beliefs more are aligned, or my opinions are more in line, with the Republican Party or with the conservative platform. And people, it's just a mix, mostly, and it also depends on the gender of the person too.
Okay,
So,
how so?
Well, if we're talking specifically black people.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
We're talking specifically black people. From black males, it is definitely more of a intriguing thing. They're sometimes wanting to learn more. They seem to be more open-minded, with me being, just a black person with a different philosophy.
Yeah.
So they seem more. That's where you get more of the, oh really, well, why this and why that and da 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 da. But black women.
They don't like it.
Ball game. Yes.
They don't take too kindly. Okay, so
not much.
What's that like?
It is very, it is very disheartening in a way, because we talk as a community. We talk about the need for us to be united and the need for us to be, inclusive of all black people. Yet when I come in and say I'm a conservative or a Republican, it's like why are you doing that? Do you hate yourself? Do you hate this? Do you just want to be white and stuff? So that I still get those kinds of things. Yeah. But it's interesting. I also host, we talked a little bit about it, women entrepreneurship events around the city.
Yeah.
And for a moment there, I was just gonna quit doing it because I felt that people wouldn't want to come anymore once they really see that I'm not just a Republican, but I actually work on the Republican side in politics. And I was surprised actually at my last event when my friend, she was introducing me and she said, she's the first black president for the Kansas City Young Republicans. I was actually really surprised at how many people clapped for that. And it was a room full of women. And I was just really surprised at how many people cheered for that. And that's another element of it, is there's so many layers to it. Is, okay, so you're Republican, but are you a Trump supporter?
Okay.
So if I just say I'm a Republican, it may not be as bad, But once I say, "Oh, I'm a Trump supporter," and not only am I a Trump supporter, I'm on one of his advisory boards,
Yeah,
and things
you
like
are.
that. Then it's like those are fighting words. Like I might as well just talked about her mama because she is just huffing and puffing and ready to go to blows
That
over
is
just over it. Yeah, it's
that's crazy.
over the years. It's been I've just seen the ugly side of people. People have definitely tried to get a lot of threats.
Hmm.
People definitely want to fight and square up, as we
Well,
call it
and
in the black community. And
it's
I'm
square
just
up.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, please do not let this conservatism fool you because I am very liberal with these hands. So you can go ahead and swing on me if you want to,
Well,
say what you want, but I will do everything to defend myself.
and I find it so crazy to come full circle. A lot of us on the conservative side, I've got very liberal friends. I'm happy sitting down and talking to them, and just like like this, what are they? The Socratic method of just asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is why. Okay, so why? Well, this is why. So it's asking
Mm-hmm.
questions, right? But the reverse is almost never true, and it's so bizarre because that's exactly what's leading to all this censorship online.
Mm-hmm.
And like for example, James O'Keefe never came out and said, like you said earlier, he's not really one to come out and be like Trump, Trump, Trump,
Yeah.
Trump. He just simply is there, and you watch a lot of his stuff. He gets accused of maliciously editing his videos.
Mm-hmm.
He releases the raw footage every single time.
Every time.
And
Every
and
time.
and that's an actually I know that I read an article a long time ago. He tries to train all of his people to do just that. Do your best to not walk them into these logical traps. Just ask questions
Mm-hmm.
and let them do the talking. Are you on Reddit? Do you ever browse Reddit?
No, I don't. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Not.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. I have browsed a couple of things. Yes.
Okay. Reddit has a page. It's a Donald Trump fan page,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, they're very clear. There's no anti-Trump talk. It's only a cheerleading page for Donald Trump. That page by itself gets something like I forget how many millions of views a day. It's completely censored off of Reddit. You can't find it if you type in, if you, at least they may have changed it. Google was censoring that particular page. You could type in Reddit the Donald, which is the name of the page, and it wouldn't come up. If you're a user of Reddit and you try to visit that page, they have quarantined the page, and it says, warning, this page is quarantined. We find a lot of complaints for calls of violence and malicious and this and that and fake news or whatever. And then even if you say, yes, take me beyond, then they say, you need an account to view this page and verify your email. They're doing everything they can to keep people who want to learn about Trump onto that page. And like, just for example, I'll type it in right now. Let's just see what's at the top. The Donald. We'll just have a look. Oh, okay. I'm actually not. I'm not signed in on Reddit on this page. So people watching at home right now, you can see exactly what this quarantine page is. I can't even view it. So it says, "Are you sure you want to view this community? It's quarantined. It is restricted due to significant issues with reporting and addressing violations of our rules against violence and other aspects. Da da da." Yeah, if you want to, I have to verify my email just to look at the page. So I'll go to now because of this. The community created a second page called thedonald.win. It's its own web page. Here's a meme against Pelosi being silly, talking about Mitt Romney being a rhino. Newt Gingrich calls for Pelosi to be censored for ripping speech. Talk about Adam Schiff. There's James O'Keefe being censored. In fact, I'll just read a couple comments from this just to see. I think people make too big a deal about Twitter. I had an account for a few days before being banned. I don't see the appeal. Okay, so anyway, regardless, yeah, it's not really surprising anymore. It's not getting any better. It really started to happen with. Did you notice when Alex Jones and Infowars got banned off?
Oh yes, I
The entire
completely forgot
internet.
about that one.
That's really what kicked it off. That was right after Trump won.
Yeah.
Completely kicked off of like 28 or 29 internet platforms, and he's basically a pariah now. He's not allowed on the internet. So
Yeah.
anyway, any closing thoughts on this censorship? Aside from it's not right.
Yeah, I mean it's not, but I mean, as a free market capitalist, I have to, it is their business. It is, this would be a great opportunity for, conservatives or people who follow the philosophy of people who have been banned to branch off into their own thing, maybe.
For sure.
Or to have it in addition to a Twitter.
And,
in addition to a Facebook and things like that.
Yeah, one closing thought on that. There actually is, and I forget what year the act was passed, but these websites all say, oh, we're censoring them because we don't want legal action because they're being crazy or violence or what. But there is and you may already know about this, there is a legal statute that says if you don't edit anything, you, Facebook, you, Twitter, are not responsible. However, if you start censoring and picking and choosing, especially when it's very consistent among, like, say, conservatives, then you're acting as a publisher, like the Wall Street Journal, and now you can be held liable. So the laws are already on the books to allow Twitter and Facebook and Reddit and YouTube to allow anyone on there.
Right.
But if they get on there and they start consistently censoring the same type of person or people, then they're violating that rule. And so really what needs to happen is just a law needs to be upheld and hold them responsible to either identify as a publisher and start censoring everyone, or do not be a publisher and let anyone on there, in which case you can be completely free of any liability. So
yeah, no, it's I completely forgot about my own censoring by Facebook.
You got censored.
I never had a problem with Facebook. I've been on Facebook since I was like 2016, 2006, and it wasn't until I joined Black Voices for Trump that ever since then, and that was in October. Ever since then, I have been locked out of my account for security reasons.
What?
Yeah, they locked me out for almost a week each time. So now I'm like really conscious with what I share, as far as just political things and stuff, because they continue to lock me out, and then they give me the option to download all my stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't know if you're gonna let me back on or not. And
that's crazy.
I promise it did not. I never had an issue with a flag post. I never got anything rejected until I got on that board, and ever since then I've been locked out. Maybe 5 times.
And just for people at home who don't know, Black Voices for Trump is an organization with the goal of promoting and reelecting President Trump, consistent and led by all Black Americans.
Yeah, so we're actually a coalition with the campaign. So we're actually a part of, officially affiliated with the campaign.
That is so frustrating.
Yeah. So now, they really are censoring all of us now.
Wow. Well, we'll leave it at that. Everybody at home, thanks for watching. Catch us later, okay? My name is Ryan Derks. I'm running from Missouri's 5th Congressional District, and I approve this message.